G'day and welcome to Game 2 between ViciGaming and Nouns in this lower bracket elimination series in the TI11 Last Chance Qualifiers. ViciGaming have taken Game 1 in a dominant draft and dominant play. Dominant draft and dominant play. They outplayed Nouns in pretty much every regard. So we'll have to see if Nouns can come back in Game 2 with something a little bit better in their draft. And they've started with the Primal Beast. Marcy and Undying were banned. Nouns took out the Enigma and the Visage. And, this is, at least, they're giving themselves the heroes. They've given themselves the Primal Beast and the Faceless Void. These are strong heroes. Meta picks. If you can get the Void before it gets banned, you have to pretty much pick it up in the first phase if you want it. Mars and Clockwork as well. Certainly dangerous heroes. Lots of control from the first two picks of ViciGaming. I mean, I'm excited by both drafts at this point. Between the arena and the cogs and the spear plus the initiation potential from ViciGaming is pretty insane just with those opening two picks. I love it when teams just go for broke. They say, you know what, these heroes are good. Let's just pick them. Let's just pick these heroes and deal with the rest of the draft later.
5 seconds remaining.
Nouns grab Faceless and the Primal Beast. Like, obviously, there's not a lot of great synergy between those two heroes. Not on the outset. It's not like it's a Lich, or a Witch Doctor, and you go, yeah, those two really go well together with the Faceless Void. No, because really how you want to play Faceless Void is you want someone to go in and make a bit of chaos. So you have a Primal Beast, he goes in, he charges in, boom, 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 grabs someone, chucks him on the ground a few times, and everyone sort of gathers around to save the person who Primal Beast has gone on. Right? This is how it works theoretically in the team fight. Then Faceless Void jumps in, Chronos on 2 or 3 and takes the fight from there. So although there's no obvious synergy between Primal Beast and Faceless Void, there's in terms of abilities, but in terms of playstyle and how you want a team fight to develop, the Primal Beast and Faceless Void actually go together quite well. ViciGaming banned the Invoker, second phase. Nouns removed the Beastmaster and TA. Beastmaster gets banned a lot and barely picked. Even when teams seem to have the opportunity, the Beastmaster is ignored a lot of the times. I get that the hero is strong. Just feels a little bit all in sometimes. It's Bat is a little less all in. Bat and Beastmaster I often compare as similar heroes, and Bat is a less all in hero than the Beastmaster. I definitely understand the Bat being banned, which ViciGaming has done. Morphling being taken up by Nouns as well, not wanting to see that Erica Morphling once more. I mean, he was pretty deadly on it from the laning stage through the mid-game decisions and then the late-game team fighting. Not that it really made it really to the late game, but the Erica Morphling was something to fear. So Nouns, making sure that is gone. Last ban. ViciGaming taking a while on this one. Just making sure they get it right. Probably targeting another mid hero. They've taken out the Invoker and the Bat. No, so they get rid of the Lycan. Don't want a big angry wolf running at them. I mean, they have pretty good control for a Lycan, to be honest. Between Clockwork and Mars, it wouldn't have been the worst thing if Nouns had picked Lycan. But potentially, they don't want to deal with it in the laning phase. And just the vision on the map. It's a vision ban when you ban Lycan. Just like you ban Beastmaster for vision control. The Wolves, when microed correctly, can pretty much provide information all around the map at all times. Shadow Shaman will be the third pick from ViciGaming. So just looking for more control. I mean, sometimes you see drafts that have barely any stun or control. And we've looked at these two drafts, and I absolutely love it. The amount of brawl and lockdown. Shadow Shaman is walking lockdown, same as Clockwork and Mars. Nouns have gone and grabbed Tusk, so a couple more stuns on him. They've got the Chrono, they've got the Primal Beast with the Onslaught and the Pulverize. Okay. Okay, this Gyrocopter pick, I mean, it could be a support. Puck, the lockdown, I mean, just pick stuns, win games. That's ViciGaming's draft at the moment. Gyrocopter, And you have the support, get the shard. It's pretty powerful with the missile.
10 seconds remaining.
I just wonder whether it's some sort of mid gyrocopter, faceless void, safe lane. You'd think primal is 3, tusk is 4.
ViciGaming's turn to ban.
Unless it's a 4 and 5. Maybe it's a 4 and 5 primal beast and tusk, and we're still waiting for the offlaner. Either way, Nouns draft is asking some questions. I'm not sure it's going to provide any answers yet. Maybe this final pick can pull it together. Nouns remove the drow from the situation, not wanting to have that in ViciGaming's hands. And when you look at the amount of control that ViciGaming have, the drow, just someone who can sit behind and provide a bunch of damage. They might even ban sniper as well. Links or sniper. Someone who can just sit from the back and just amp out the damage when Shadow Shaman's shackling, Puck's coiling, Clockwork's hooking, Mars is spearing on the 12 days of Dota. You know, someone who can just deal damage. I think that's what Nouns are concerned about at the moment. What Nouns are planning on picking, you know, is questionable. Is this a support void? Is it a 3 void? 3 void safe lane Gyro and looking for a mid laner? That's... So you're just providing the lockdown for the Gyro to deal the damage with the flak cannon? This is another thought I'm having. I mean, offlane void was a thing. It was a thing. My mind can remember to a time when offlane void was very popular. It may have involved Universe and EG. That's what's coming to the forefront of my brain, but hasn't really been popular recently.
ViciGaming's turn to ban.
Medusa, yeah, still just banning out that backline damage hitter, and the Ember Spirit's banned. So they think that this is maybe it's faceless. It's just 4 or 5 Gyro, safe lane, void, 3 and 4 beast and tusk, and they're looking for a mid laner. That could be. I think that's the read that ViciGaming have at the moment. I mean, I think there has to be a mid laner. It's just what combination are the other heroes playing? You wouldn't want to put a mid Gyro against Puck. That just wouldn't work out very well at all. You can always phase shift the missile, and you don't really want to get up that close and personal with a Puck on a gyrocopter. Yeah, so Void Spirit is the pick from Nouns. So some good initiation. Can look for pickoffs around the map. Reasonably agile and safe in lane. Can dodge a few of the spells from Puck with the Dissimulate. So generally just a good pick here. I'm not saying it's anything that is going to synergize incredibly well with the rest of the draft of Nouns, but it's just a good hero pick. It's solid. It's certainly not anything too out of the box, and will do everything it needs to in this game. It's just whether the rest of the draft of Nouns does whatever it's supposed to do, and we'll see soon enough once the players pick up their heroes. ViciGaming, Clinks is available. Sniper, it's whether you want to run a safe lane sniper. Wouldn't be terrible. You're just looking for someone to deal damage from the backlines. Like, you've got so much shield. Juggernaut. Okay. Well, Juggernaut is a damage dealer. Pretty high burst. Will get through someone who's been coiled or held by the Shadow Shaman. And you know what? That's a pretty scary lane. Juggernaut, Shadow Shaman. High base damage on Shadow Shaman. Spin from Juggernaut. Will provide issues. So, Moo will be on the Primal Beast. That's a 3. So it's a 3 Primal Beast. Z-Freak's on the 4 Tusk. Gunner's on the mid Void Spirit. And they're just deciding... I mean, I'm sure this is a 5 Gyrocopter yet. So it's a 5 Gyrocopter and the 1 Faceless Void. Costabile will take that.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So moving forward in the draft, I mean, I like the Gyrocopter. It provides a good amount of damage for the Faceless Void in the Chrono. But other than that, most of the Chrono damage will have to be done by Void themselves. There's not any clear Skywrath Mage or Mortimer's Kisses. No clear immediate follow-up to the Chrono, like a Black Hole or Ravage. Arena, which is on the other side. It's... Costabile is going to have an absolute scorcher of a game to give themselves a chance in this game too for Nouns, because ViciGaming's draft looks scary and efficient. It has everything you need. The lanes should go fairly well. They've got good kill potential in lanes. They've got good rotations with Puck and Clockwork. Erica should be able to farm safely with the Juggernaut. There are ways to cancel BKB TP, notably the Chrono plus the Punch. So it's not a perfect Juggernaut game in terms of farming side lanes, but you can almost bait it. Know that they're going to try and cancel a spin TP and have someone smoke behind in that situation.
Prepare for battle.
My keyboard is not working. My keyboard is
Last player to be killed. That's such a bait of one. I think ViciGaming are looking very strong in this match. Nouns smoking out to the top side. Couple get themselves a ward down. Z-Freak is hanging on to the other Sentry and Obs combo. Vici just playing very safe on their side of the map for the time being. Briska's taking the Ether Shock level 1. They have their own wood down, covering the bottom rune. Just wondering where their second Obs is at, whether I've missed it. Here it is here. Friska's got it, second Obs. So, covering both runes, so really trying to give their mid laner on the Puck an excellent start. XM wants to be able to see any rotations coming towards him in this mid lane, and also scouting out the runes. Nouns, Costabile moving in. Does just want to secure this bounty. BAB though, I think they can scare him back. He will get it. Oh, that was a little bit tricky. Actually, could be a first blood opportunity here. Yang with the battery assault, trying to run out of the ice shards. Will do it. Erica, I even think about turning around with the spin. Good damage going onto both sides. So moving into the laning situation, we have XM for Vici playing mid on the Puck. Could be going against Gunner. The Nouns on the Void Spirit. In the safe lane for Vici, Erica on the Juggernaut, being supported by Yang on the Clockwork. They're laning against Moo on the Primal Beast and Z-Freak on the Tusk. Trample will be used, just forcing Erica and Yang back. In the top lane, Husky on the 5 Gyrocopter, helping out Costabile on the 1 Faceless Void. They're laning against Frisk on the 4 Shaman and BAB on this 3 Mars. I have to say, you played the 3 Mars very well in game 1 of this series. Husky went for the level 1 in Rocket Barrage instead of the homing missile. So once we are getting close, but it's hard. It's hard to get close to Frisk and BAB. Frisk will probably almost solo kill you if you walk in. It's got a lot of damage. 1 right click and an Ether Shock, and you sort of get sent on your way just for walking up in the general direction. As I said in the draft, the laning situation is pretty good for both teams. Very aggressive heroes moves, stamping forward with the trample. Erica just holding on to the spin, not panicking at all in that situation, knowing that he doesn't need to turn around, probably won't get any chance of getting killed. There's a lot of HP on this Primal Beast. Mid lane, 9-2 on Gunner, 7-1 on XM, so fairly even there. Not really any advantage going one way or the other. At the moment, both have ways to secure creeps. Illusionary Orb or the Resonant Pulse. In mid lane, Gunner a little bit low, but has the bold charges. XM doesn't have enough for the orb, and Gunner might actually be able to Maybe body him out of these runes. Bottom lane. Do have Battery Assault going off once again on Z-Freak. Moo might be tempted to use the Trample. The Uproar instead. Grabs the Deny. And Yang's Battery Assault will expire. Has a couple of mangoes. Didn't go for the level in the Power Cogs. Instead took the Rocket Flare. Interesting combination. The Power Cogs and the Primal Beast. So if you Power Cogs in a Primal Beast, remember he has to be moving to deal damage. So it's one of those situations where I think he can sort of run around the edge of the cogs just and get the damage, but he has to be moving to get that damage. Otherwise, the trample damage will just cease to continue. So it is a soft counter to the Primal Beast. We'll have to see if he can get enough movement inside those cogs to get the trample damage to continue.
Family will understand.
Frisk and BAB just bodying back Costabile on this top lane, not letting him get close to the creep wave. The pull is happening at the moment from Husky to try and pull this creeps back in their favor. It was it was a double, it was a stacked camp. BAB just forcing out that time walk on Costabile. Bottom lane, Yang might be in trouble. The spin actually comes through from Erica. There's the roll. Trample has expired. And this bottom lane is a bit of a stalemate either way. One can't kill the other. And they sort of both know it. Top lane. Spear catches onto Husky. Frisk doesn't have any more spells, but the right clicks will be enough. 77 plus 2 from Frisk, and he'll grab the first blood in this top lane. Oh, he wants both. He's trying to be greedy. Doesn't quite get there. So, refills on the mid laners. Those water runes, bottom lane. Z-Freak moving in against Erica, just trying to get a little bit of casual harass. Doesn't take a tower hit. Yang might think about casting the Battery Assault. There's a spin available, but Snowball will just waste a lot of that time. In fact, Yang might have just gone a little too far forward this time. Spins catching on to. There's the Snowball. And with the spin over, I don't think they can actually get the kill. Yang walks away. Moo actually has to turn. There's the tag team. Erica has to be careful. Rocket Flare back in to heal a little bit more damage. Erica decides to just man up and fight against Z-Freak, and realizing Moo doesn't want to really get too far involved on low health either. Sort of wins the duel. Z-Freak tries to get the cancel on the clarity. Would have been pretty large, but doesn't manage to get it. So Clockwork will be very much topped up on mana. A couple of tangos as well. We find to get back engaged in about 30 seconds or so in the lane. Mid lane. Gunner. He's just being twigged with a little bit by XM. 33 and 10 up against 22 and 2. So Gunner has certainly got the better of this mid lane. Void Spirit pretty good. Actually grabs the level 6. Goes the secondary. Will have the Ether Remnant. Level 2, but Silence will hold it back. XM close to 6. Few more creeps away. Frisk is in the area. The supports are rotating in. There's close to 6 heroes mid at the moment. Salves, give him a little more help. Yang's in the area as well. Z-Freak's coming around behind. I mean, there's a lot here. They want to try and set up. I think just for the runes. Yang. It is the rune top. Husky ends up taking the invis, just protecting it. Making sure that XM doesn't get it there, and kind of unable to make it over. We'll be sad about not getting the bottle refill, but at least it won't be an invis on XM with the refill. Top lane. The AB and Costabile just constantly brawling against each other. Level 3 on the time walk to negate the damage. Erica doesn't have enough for the spin right now, but a mango is there if he wants it. No power cogs just yet. We'll probably get it level 4. He's got 2 in the Battery Assault. The level 2 Battery Assault is a huge increase, 20 to 45. The level 1 doesn't quite do a lot in terms of damage. BAB will get stunned from the homing missile. Frisk turns up. They might want to turn around. They have abilities in 3 seconds. Z-Freak comes in with the roll and the shards, and there should be enough to get onto BAB. Man, the cooldowns were almost there. Shackle onto the Tusk. TP from Yang. But I think the Brown Boots might be able to chase him down, but healing up with the salve. Costabile Probably could threaten enough with the level 1 bash to stop Yang from wanting to go in. Mu really trying to make this life hard for Erica in the bottom lane. The Mango restores 100 mana, so we'll have enough if he needs to spin. Probably won't be casting Polaris Dota. Mid lane, XM takes a fair bit of damage from Gunner. Has to get the cheeky little astral step there before he jaunted away. Didn't quite get enough damage or time it correctly in that situation. Level 6 from this creep. Yeah, there it is. So Chrono is online along with Arena soon enough. Maybe one more creep wave if he gets the XP. Wants to play careful now that Chrono is available. If there's a rotation of +1, might probably die under that effect. So, only 2 kills, 8 minutes in at the moment. Both teams, I mean, it's not been for lack of trying. Both teams have been trying to kill each other. They've just been unable to at this point. The amount of action we've seen with lack of kills has been considerable. We're playing with Chrono. Still no cooldown to help with the damage. Spear will just keep Costabile honest in this bottom lane. Z-Freak moving in, level 5. Not yet with the punch, and probably needs the book to get there in any time sooner. Yang will probably want that book, only on level 4 at the moment. Mid lane, Gunner still keeping XM low so many times. Heroes are being gone on, but the deaths are not being racked up. Vision at the moment is very aggressive in the triangle, and both sort of ramps on either side. Speaking of it, eventually the Tusk will die and I won't see it. The one moment I take to look elsewhere, since there hasn't been a kill in 9 minutes. And it happens. Of course, Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So, I was saying the aggressive vision for Nouns on both sort of sides of the mid lane. Just trying to set up around mid with some sort of play, but finding it difficult still. TP in from Z-Freak. Actually, that's a kill with Frisk. Gunner didn't quite rotate fast enough, and the Void will go in. There's actually another hold. Spear is available. I don't think they have the damage, though. With the Resonant Pulse up, way too much damage negation coming out. Husky working towards this level 6. Books are available. Do you send himself out one? No, so he's still a while away. Top lane, there's another Shackle. TP coming in from the Void. Chrono is online, but I think they're just trying to bait it out. It's being used. I'm sure they have the damage. Hex off to the side. And a Shackle. Yeah, Costabile, he has nowhere near enough damage. The rotations are coming in now. XM's here on the puck. There'll be a coil. It catches onto 3. BAB. Spear onto the tree. Doesn't actually manage to break the coil. XM silence onto 3 as well. Rocket Flare onto 3. Now Mu arrives with the punch onto the ground. We'll have to just run it away, and everyone's still alive. Husky might be the lone death here. They want to get the kill onto Costabile. The Void is the prime target. Managed to time walk off the damage. Eventually, the Gyrocopter will go down in the backline. Trample is cancelled with the hold. The Shackle's keeping him still. He's too angry. Eventually, if everyone hangs around here long enough, people will die. Yang, again, will tick down to the urn. Stun onto the Void, and there's an Arena. We saved! He gets the time walk off again. BAB will give his life for it, though. Costabile is just living on the edge at the moment. He's trying to bait in XM. Roll. Doesn't connect. Gunner could get there. Doesn't have an Astral Step for 23. So after all that, 3 deaths on the side of ViciGaming, just the 1 for Nouns. So a good fight there for Nouns after all of that. Woods dropped on the mid lane. We're just pushing mid tower. Hook comes in from long range. There is enough for a snowball. Will hit himself out, but the Hex is there, and Won't be able to cast any spells when you're hexed up and silenced from XM. Tier 1 tower will fall. So although ViciGaming look like they sort of lose the engagement in the jungle, the very long-winded, slow damaging fight, they do keep their tier 1 tower.
I'll take that as
Dire's top tower
Husky is still
under attack.
desperately trying to get towards level 6. Needs this cooldown to combine with the Chrono. Next time Chrono's up, and all the while, Erica is just farming in this bottom lane. Has been untouched. Might not be for long though. The rotations are coming through. Moose scouting him on the high ground. He's in
Is under attack.
the trees. Has a no spin actually. Omni Slash is available if they want. He wants to try and use it to survive, but the right click from Costabile will be there. Nice little kill on Erica in this bottom lane. As I said, he's been untouched. And I think Nouns probably recognized that as well, that the Juggernaut was enjoying all of this time alone in this bottom lane and probably stayed around for a little bit too long and got punished for it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Fire being worked on by Gunner.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Pulverize is ready yet again. The cooldown on this ability is so low. Hook catching over on a Gyrocopter. Cogs in. Turns around with the Rocket Barrage, but with the silence and the jaunt from XM. The damage is a little bit too much. Moo. Trampling forward. Shackled now. Coil catches onto 2. There's a Chrono on the backline. Will potentially get the clockwork, but not much else. Moo. Pulverized. Pulverized up on the Shaman. Spear. Does catch onto the Primal Beast. Caught on the side of the arena. Costabile jumping off to the north. These fights, they seem so disjointed. There's the spell casting from, maybe it's just because both sides are equally matched and they're sort of countering each other's moves. It almost feels like a chess game where one move is being made and then the other team gets a chance to cast a spell, and then they take turns, and then ViciGaming casts a spell. It's the fights are really disjointed. That's the word I'd use to describe it. I think if one of these teams manages to throw together all of their spells together at once and burst down 2 or 3 heroes, they should have enough to take the fight. Into the Roche Pit go Vici though. Mass Serpent Wards and the Healing Ward. Double ward action. I'm not sure they'll suspect this. They're in the area. Just want to scout it out. It's less than half HP. You wouldn't think that this is going to happen, but with the Healing Ward level 2, I think it's just taken under their nose. Tusk dies. I mean, they even get a kill. Whilst taking ages, Tusk dies bottom, so that's just perfect for ViciGaming. Completely bluffed Nouns on the map with what they were doing. And now that's an Aegis on Erica, so safely can continue farming. Doesn't really have any fear of being ganked, because if he does, his team should be able to rotate over in time to make use of the second life. Generally pretty hard hero to kill anyway. I think Nouns were pretty fortunate in that bottom lane to get the Pulverize like they did. Spin was on cooldown for another 2 seconds. Otherwise, I don't think they get that kill so cleanly. Regen rune, bottom. Gunner will jump in with the step, grab it, Hex to follow. Shackles on the high ground. There's an arena onto the wall, and that's a dead Void Spirit. Husky get the cooldown in the middle of the fight, trying to fight up against the 2 cores of ViciGaming, but I don't think he'll last against the puck. He will eventually go down, but Moo has charged through, grabbing the Pulverize, and the Mars dies, so it's a 2 for 2.
Is under attack.
Immediate TP to the top lane, just to clear out the wave. Won't be pressuring the Juggernaut in any manner. Nice little Midas usage there. Costabile's got the Midas. He's top of the net worth chart now. If this game goes long enough, it is a Faceless Void. This is one of the kings of the late game. Supported by a Void Spirit. Very, very good at getting late game jumps and huge burst damage late game. Good control as well at the level 25. If this game goes late enough, and that's the plan from Nouns with this Midas, They have a good shot. The issue for them is, I think ViciGaming have no intention of letting this game go on too long. Rolls through onto the Clockwork, Onslaught stun, and the Rocket. Stun with the God's Rebuke onto the Tusk. Actually pushes him behind the tree. Mass Serpent Woods will be committed onto Moo. There's a Chrono on the high ground. Catches onto 2. Trying to get there through the Shadow Shaman. He will get the last hit. Coil catches onto 3 with the Omni Slash. Will expire now. Spear on the Void Spirit off to the side. Illusory Orb will get the last tick of damage. And Moo charging back through. Trying to help out his Faceless Void escape as best he can. There is an arena. And once again, the orb from XM. He gets the triple. Just lining up those orbs. He's gone 10-pin bowling with that Illusory Orb today. And he's knocked down 3 with his first.
Dire's top tower is
TP top from Z-Freak. Has the snowball. Punch. Will cancel. Stop him from getting further away. Trying to kill Eric. He's still got Aegis. I'm not sure this is the best plan. They've scouted out. They're under the Rocket Flare vision. Hook misses. Missile coming out onto the Mars. But he jumps in instead and gets the spear onto Gunner. Rocket scouts him out in the trees. Moo TPing in. Actually cancels it. Besides, it's not a good idea. With all these trees being removed here, there's a lot of high ground vision for the side of ViciGaming. There's no protection for the side of Nouns to try and defend. And with XM in the trees, yeah, it would just be a suicide mission to try and go in and fight that, particularly against the Aegis. So instead, Nouns move to the southern side of the map, continue farming. Costabile needs to get larger. He did manage to kill off, actually, fight in the middle. They do get the spear onto the Void Spirit again. BAB is an absolute monster on this Mars. And with XM to follow up with the silence, and there's no way he can dispel that at the time. He's working towards the Yules now. Went for the Kaya first. Maybe regretting that decision going for Kaya, thinking about Kaya and Sanj. The item that everyone wants to have on these spell-based mid laners. But when you've been caught so many times under the effect of the silence after the spear, realizing that Yules is the necessary item next. Mass Serpent Woods dropped in the mid lane. The tier 2 appears not long for this world. There will be some more creeps coming soon. They're crossing the river. Nouns, they might not be content to give this up. Trying to find XM on the backline. He actually jumps up. He's got him with the coil and with the spear through onto the edge. The Faceless Void will mention could just die. Pulverize will come a little too late. And Nouns, they probably want to try and get out of this fight. Hex onto the Tusk. He'll die under the right clicks of Erica. And as the fight continues off to the side, XM is still chasing. I mean, XM just playing Nouns right now, trying to get the TP out, but the Gyro will get stunned and shackled off to the side. TP will occur, and BAB gets that last hit with the God's Rebuke. I mean, that was the perfect situation there for Nouns. They were coming around the back. They saw the Puck by himself. Puck just sort of blinks straight into them, gets the 3-man coil in silence, and followed up the arena. I say, like, BAB is just everywhere. He feels like he's ever on the map. He's always catching the right heroes at the right times. This is starting to get to the sort of level where you respect ban this hero for BAB. You just don't allow it to get through. Costabile getting bursted down from the coil silence into the spear on the arena. But he has a Midas. So all hope is not lost. If you're a Noun supporter, there is still hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Tunnel is a long way away. There's some dark and dreary corners that you could fall off over an edge on the way there, but there is light.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Erica now has the full Mjolnir. I think has another item potentially flying out to him right now. Smoke again from Nouns. They're looking for the fight. They still have Chrono. Yang would be perfect to break this smoke for the side of Vici, and he will. He'll break it. Missile will be moving in. Costabile is looking for a little bit more. Doesn't really want the clockwork. And they Yang knows this. He can just keep playing this frontliner. They don't want to go on this clockwork. They need VAB or the puck. Shard does catch stun. That time, spear mid-onslaught. VAB, can you get any better? Yang will just hookshot to get away. Oh my. I mean, it was accidental, I would assume. I think the spear was maybe intended for someone else, but catches Moo mid-onslaught with the spear. And it appears that Nouns are still sort of looking for the fight. Frisk has the Mass Serpent Woods. The TP is coming in from the puck. Quill immediately onto the Void Spirit. And with the spear on the tree, Void Spirit's just dead. Moo has a BKB trying to get some work done. In the middle of the fight, Arena has been thrown down. Omnislice onto Moo. He will die. And with the spin up, they're just being cleaned up. Costabile escapes to the north. Realizes if he dies now, the Midas might be ready while he's in the fountain. And I have to say that was a greedy fight to try and take that fight around the tier 1. I thought maybe under the effect of smoke on their own side of the map, they had a chance to maybe take a fight with a good chrono. But just running straight down mid and showing all of their heroes, showing their entire team fight to ViciGaming underneath the tier 1 tower. It was never going to work out well. Gunner's going in, trying to get the burst onto Frisk, and I think he will with the second astral step. The pop damage, so maybe they can take the fight here. There is a buyback on the Shaman. If he wants to use it, he might consider it, but it'll just be the one pick. Fight didn't continue on, and we still have a chrono that hasn't been used in quite a while now. BKB getting closer for this Faceless Void. Z-Freak can get a Blink Dagger. The Snowball saves. This could be a big turning point for Nouns. You can get the Snowball save onto a speared target in the arena. Save his Void Spirit. Save his Faceless Void. Either of the Voids. Then that could turn a fight around. Gunner has now the Yule. So if he has the chance to survive, he can remove the silence and probably dissimulate away off to the side of the fight. Roshan spawning in 27 seconds. It's not far away now. The AB still moving forward. He's looking for the Hex next. Making sure he's got enough mana for the upcoming fight. Pops the Clarity. Moo sees BAB. Very dangerous prospect to try and go on him. We'll just clear the wave and continue moving with the rest of his team. They need this tier 1 tower. I'm not sure Vici want to give it up. Yeah, they're smoking. This is the same play again. They're showing Costabile. The hook comes out with the arena. And once again, the Void will just die off the bat. And now the fight. Omni Slash coming through onto Moo. The damage will be there. Doesn't matter if you have a BKB. It's not going to protect you from the slashes of Erica. Z-Freak on the run. No Blink Dagger just yet. So he'll probably buy as much time as he can. Heading to this bottom side of the map. Use a snowball. But his days are numbered with Puck on the pursuit. Does have a TP, just juking around, but with the Witchblade hit, slowed him down enough that couldn't get away through those trees. I mean, just showing on the mid lane like this, underneath the tower. I mean, you're inviting Vici to come and kill you. You're inviting them to just initiate so cleanly. They just smoke back from the other side and get the kills. And out into the Roshan pit, they use the Mass Serpent Woods. Probably not even necessary. But it does secure a lot faster. Shard now on Erica. So the spins increase damage, increase movement speed. You get to attack in the spin. With the Skadi up, the fights from Nouns this game, the last two fights just pushing down this mid lane, just rushing for this tier 1 tower, has seemed so desperate and probably uncalled for. Like, their high ground is not even being threatened at the moment. I think they just need to keep using this Midas, keep getting Costabile a little bit larger, but instead they've sort of thrown away 2 fights at this mid tower. I mean, this is a lot better smoke. They're not just they're not just showing themselves. Frisk will be here. He's got a Blink Dagger. I wonder if he'll use the chrono of this BKB. will be popped, pull down, and get the Shadow Shaman out. He's got no buyback. Mules will potentially dodge the spear. Still holding on to it. Spear doesn't connect, but the hook shot will simulate off to the side. It's actually a decent fight. BAB will eventually get the kill on the Gyrocopter. And down, bottom of the fight, Chrono was used, but to no effect. And I think the puck baited out that Chrono on the bottom side of the fight. And that's really...
Radiant are scanning.
It really just summarizes this game, doesn't it? The Chronosphere is eventually used after, what, the last 10 minutes of trying to use this Chronosphere in a fight, and it just whiffs on everything. That was even with the Shadow Shaman dying first. That was the best opportunity they had to try and get a fight going in their direction, but ViciGaming, just all class, managed to still take the fight, recognize that without the Shaman, they're not that badly outnumbered, particularly when Erica is so large. And now sitting on the high ground once again. And I guess they've been trying to smoke out, get as much play on the map so that Void can keep farming. It's hard to just sit high ground and let Void farm, particularly against a lineup like this with so much jump and catch. But now there's no Chrono. The Mass Serpent Woods are dropped on your base. There's a Hex. Onto the Faceless Void. Coil onto an immediate snap on the Gyrocopter. BKB from Costabile. And he'll get away, but that's the BKB now used. Punch. Trying to catch in the mid lane. The puck. Can they bring him down? No! XM gets away. It's a 4-man arena. BKB in the middle. BAB. And this could just be the beginning of the end. The Void will go down. Moot with the Pulverize onto Frisk. Won't have enough damage. XM still alive in the middle of this fight. The Hex is there. The Spear comes through. And BAB is dominating. The Glyph comes out. There's no buybacks. It's just the POS 5 Gyro who's still alive. And maybe I spoke a little too soon, because he dies as well. And mentally, it's Nouns do not look like they're in this game. I think they've been a little bit flustered by VG's play, and VG have just shown their class in this series, showing that they do deserve to be in these last chance qualifiers, and potentially one of the favored teams in this series. Have shown we've been a little bit slow to start, but now we're showing what potential we have, and just dismantling Nouns in these fights. Erica ages for a minute 15. Mjolnir active. We'll just continue to sit next to the tower. Rock throw being cancelled. Stun is dodged by the spin. Onslaught is cancelled now. Gunner looking for a way in, but there's still 58 seconds. Snowball will stun, but there's the hook. Catching on the back line. Arena, BAB doesn't actually catch anyone in the spear. There's an Onslaught. Coil up on the side. The leash is there, but BKB now from Moon. Maybe they have a chance to turn around. Buyback from the Gyrocopter. Costabile does have a Chrono, but it's a Chrono just to survive. He goes back in, and I think in that situation, we're going to see maybe the GG's called in a moment. Costabile just jumping back into the spin of Erica. Buybacks there from Void. They still want to keep fighting. Megas will be claimed in a moment. Yang's just coming over to give the high fives. Yang realizes that this game is over, and BAB gets the stun onto the Tusk. Onslaught comes through, will connect a little bit. Gunner wants to jump out, but they're all going to die. There's the Coil onto 3. And Pulverize. Nouns, they don't want to give up. This is their life at TI. It's hard to see it go. I see for you a future full of death. And I think Vici, giving the respect to Nouns. I don't know if there's not much respect left here now. The Hex again. There's the GG. GG. Good luck moving forward. Well played. And Nouns, TI Dream is over. ViciGaming will be moving forward. And congratulations to ViciGaming.